Hello everyone, it's Kayla, and today I'm doing the Booktube partner tag with Lainey from Gingerreadslainey. Lainey is one of my favorite booktubers and one of my booktube besties. We talk all the time on Twitter. Just in general, we are into the same things, and it's scary sometimes. She's like my twin. I love this girl so much. I'm going to meet her and room with her at BEA. I guess I should explain the tag. Basically, she's going to ask 10 book-related questions and 2 personal questions not related to books, and I did the same for her. We filmed our questions and sent the video to each other so we could, insert the questions throughout our video. And I will leave the link to her version of this down below where I ask the questions. So here's Lainey.
Hey everybody, my name is Lainey from Gingerreadslainey, and I am asking Kayla 10 book questions and 2 personal questions for our Booktube partner tag, which I'm sure she has already explained. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right into the questions. My first book question is Perry or Roar?
How did I not know that this was going to be a question? Just saying. I would say at the end of the day, I would choose Perry because he's such a manly man, and it helps that I pictured Chris Hemsworth as Perry the whole time I was reading Under the Never Sky. I just pictured Thor, and I love Thor, but he's just so rugged and rough, and he knows what he wants, and he's just a go-getter. And although Roar is like the emotional one, and normally that's who I relate to more, but yeah, choosing Perry for this one.
My second question is a movie's coming out that you really want to see that's based off of a novel you haven't read yet. Do you read the book before you see the movie, or will you see the movie first and then read the book afterwards?
I'm not exactly sure. It depends on the subject material. If it's a contemporary movie, I might go see the movie and then read the book, or maybe not read the book at all because I'm not really into contemporary. But it just depends on the subject material. Most of the time, I prefer reading the book before seeing the movie. But if it doesn't interest me a whole lot, I don't see the point, and I'll just enjoy the movie for what it is.
Question number 3 is, what is your literary equivalent?
Who is my literary equivalent? I guess who I relate to the most. I so relate to Kath from Fangirl. All of her social anxieties about having friends or staying home on the weekends and writing, or in my case, staying home and watching Netflix. But I totally relate to Kath and her insecurities. I also relate to Elisa from The Girl of Fire and Thorns. She's a bigger girl and she's plus size, and you don't find that very often in fantasy or young adult books. So I really related to her as well, her insecurities. Obviously, if people have insecurities, I relate. That's not a really good pattern, but hey, it is what it is. God knows I'm not Katniss because I'm not kicking no ass.
Question number 4 is, what book is really popular that you decided to read because of the hype, but it ended up turning out to be very disappointing to you?
I normally buy into the hype. I'm not gonna lie. I normally love books that are hyped up on Booktube or in real life. I would probably say The Selection by Kira Cass. I love the world building in this, but there's not enough in it, in my opinion. But I was just kind of like, okay, it's a fun read. It's one of those guilty pleasure type reads. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever. Even though I love parts of this trilogy, I would say The Maze Runner is another choice that I would say is hyped up on Booktube that I didn't really care for. I liked the first book a lot. The second book was kind of and the third book was just... These third books in dystopian series need to get their shit together. I'm just saying. I just feel like dystopians should be series. Like more than 3 books, because you can't resolve the entire world in 3 books. And probably the biggest one for me, the disappointment, was I Am Number 4, the Lorien Legacy series by Pittacus Lore. And I probably won't ever read the rest of the books. Yeah. And it's not really hyped up on Booktube, but I didn't really care for Outlander by Diana Gabaldon either. But that didn't stop me from buying the second book in the series, so I will be continuing with this, and I will try out the TV show when it airs on Starz.
Question number 5 is, what is your biggest book hangover?
And without a doubt, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows tore my little 17-year-old heart apart. Oh, and honorable mention to A Dance with Dragons, because Jon Snow's cliffhanger, are you freaking kidding me? I don't even know. I don't even have words still. And I read that over a year ago.
Question number 6 is, if you could pick one book to turn into a movie where you could be the director, what book would that be?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Existing movie, I would say Percy Jackson, because they really effed that shit up. I would say Cinder by Marissa Meyer, even though I feel like the Lunar Chronicles would make such an excellent anime series. Or I would say Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, because God knows they didn't really get the Mortal Instruments that correct.
Question number 7 is, do you prefer ebooks or do you prefer physical books?
Obviously, there's nothing in the world like picking up a book and flipping through the pages and smelling the smell of books. And there's nothing like looking at it prettily on your bookshelves. But at the same time, you can't deny that there's such convenient factors to reading on an iPad or a Kindle or an e-reader of any kind. When I go to the gym, I put my iPad on the treadmill, cover up the time, and just keep flipping pages. Like, you can't really do that with a book. The convenient factor of, okay, I'm in line at the store and I'm bored. Let me look up my Kindle app on my phone. And I read a lot of long books, so I'm going to say ebooks on this one.
Question number 8 is, what is the one book you could read again and again and never get bored of it?
Honestly, I'm not one to really reread books. I've read Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows at least 5 times. I really want to reread Game of Thrones and catch things that I didn't catch before. Thrillers and fantasy, in my opinion, are best for rereads because you can catch different things each time that you read them. I don't know about rereading contemporary. This is such a hard question. I'm going to say Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. Next question.
Question number 9 is, on average, how long does it take you to get through a book?
I would say like a 400-page book, half a week to a week. If I don't like it, a week to 2 weeks. Yeah, if I'm into a book, guys, there's no stopping me. Not even Netflix.
Question number 10 is, who is your favorite villain of all time?
Cersei Lannister is probably the villain that I hate the most. Ugh, she's like my number 1 villain. Joffrey is a close second. I just think Cersei is more dimensional than Joffrey is. I feel like she's a better villain than Joffrey is. Joffrey's just a dickhead. Bellatrix Lestrange. Love her. Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Epic character, let's be honest. Oh, and I know this doesn't really count as a villain, but I love Hades from Hercules. He was awesome.
Now it's on to those personal questions. So my first personal question is, I know you are a writer, so I would like to know, what genre do you write?
Currently, I am working on a YA fantasy. #surprise. I also have started to take notes on a duology that I want to do set in Atlantis because I feel like there's not a lot of books set in Atlantis.
And my second personal question is, I also know that you just graduated with an English degree. Since I'm also an English degree, I'm pretty sure we both know how difficult it is to find a job with an English degree. So my question on that is, what is your ultimate dream job?
My ultimate dream writing job would be to write on the staff of a television show. But since I wasn't really a screenwriting major, it'd be really hard for me to break into that field, especially considering I live on the East Coast. And let's be honest, I can't really pick up and move to Los Angeles. I don't really have the financial means to do that. However, my realistic writing dream would be to work in a publishing company, editing, etc., etc. I wouldn't mind getting into public relations either. But yeah, those 3 things are some of my goals and aspirations. Obviously being a novelist, but hey, let's be realistic here. Alright, that is it for the questions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Lainey, for being a part of this with me. I hope you had a lot of fun, and thank you for the questions. They were awesome, and I can't wait to see your video, and please check out Lainey's video below, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!